Sounds good. Thank you. 5 seconds.
Welcome back, Cedars. If you're just joining us here, we have a kind of a dual combo here. Special, we got Joe Kill and Jelly Joe here live on patrol here this afternoon. It's bright and sunny. It's with us today, a Wednesday.
Welcome back, Cedars. Our special guest here is Mr. Jelly Joe.
I'm happy to be here, folks.
Mike, Charlie Yankee 058.
We just hopefully got to see Mighty Mike on Tuesday because Monday was the holiday, so you got to see Mighty Mike yesterday. If you're just joining us, so both I and Joe Kill work for the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. Joe Kill is currently assigned to the CAT team, Ramsey County Carjacking and Auto Theft team, and Jelly Joe is assigned to the Intel, which works very closely with the CAT team with various investigative needs. So we are happy to be here today. We're currently on the east side of St. Paul at Tedesco and Payne, about to head northbound on Payne. So hopefully we can find a couple stolen cars today for you guys. And
it's been pretty active lately. Lots of stolen cars rolling around.
very active the last actually couple of weeks. Been very busy. Some North St. Paul had a homicide. We can't get into the specifics, and but that's an ongoing investigation with North St. Paul. What else do we have this week with
Maplewood had a carjacking and took them into custody, yesterday?
Yes, they did. Yesterday afternoon. Actually, yeah, yesterday morning-ish, afternoon-ish. We are northbound Payne at Phelan, but so far as today, it's been relatively quiet. We had some administrative needs, some meetings and stuff for upcoming investigations and whatnot, so. But yeah, it's been busy otherwise. Last week was busy with Pat Scott's and the CAT team with taking some parties into custody and that whole event.
Yeah, that was quite the day.
8-year-old white male, white shirt. He's the one that's been throwing the rocks.
Currently on the east side of St. Paul, northbound on Payne, coming up to Case.
Our camera's got a little bit of updates, so bear with us if it starts glitching. We're trying a couple different things here. And it is hot. It's probably 90, 91 today, they're saying.
Yeah, it's been hot last couple, actually the whole month of June's been pretty hot. Like my Florida weather that I love. Hot and sunny. The hotter the better.
Let me tell you, Mr. Miller made some outstanding ribs over the weekend.
Yeah, I'll give you a little, I can't give away all my pitmaster secrets, but I have a smoker, relatively simple smoker. It's called a Bradley smoker. But the key to cooking ribs or smoking ribs is maintaining that heat. You don't want to get too hot. Right around the 200 to 225, below that. Then low and slow. Sweet with a little bit of heat. That's how I like my ribs.
black shirt.
Just bear with us, folks. We're looking at a couple of crime alerts here on our phones and whatnot. Oh, it's just stole items.
Monitor that a little bit. A little bit of theft going on at the Maplewood Mall, looks like.
I don't think that's a good address for him. There's no 1370.
Oh,
Looks like some.
an accident there at some point.
No, this is 1370 east side of the street.
Currently eastbound on Maryland Avenue.
Looking for a westbound approach to assist fire with a vehicle fire at 461 Wilder.
Coming up to Arcade.
1335.
And yeah, I see some comments. Yeah, the sky, it's not quite as hazy as it was last week with the Canadian wildfires.
I'll be checking for injuries.
I think one day it was really bad last week. You could almost taste the smoke, the particles in the air. That's how bad it was. But it's definitely gotten better.
Yeah, the haze in the air was crazy. You say it's poor air quality today, too.
Yeah, especially with people with asthma and bronchitis, it really takes a toll on their breathing.
Does Florida have those air alerts?
I don't know if Florida does, but tell you what, I've never had a bad time in Florida as far as the weather. It's always, at least where I go, it's always 80 and sunny year round.
Phone number to be
That's why I love it.
551-254-5008.
And matter of fact, we actually, I think you might have been with me, Joe Kill. We were down in Florida, Fort Myers Beach, and we actually ran into some backseaters. Looks like, oh boy, we may have an issue, folks, with our phone here overheating. Our camera could be overheating here in a second.
Let's see here.
We gotta fix this before it goes kaput.
Let's try this.
Two things. You can go back, find me.
It happened once to Mike Martin. What's the remedy? Just put the air on it?
Yeah, I got the air going on up front now. See if that'll work.
It's so hot, our camera's overheating, folks, so hopefully it stays with us. And again, if you're just joining us, folks, you got the pleasure of the two Joes. Joe Kill from the CAT team and Joe Miller from Intel, better known as Jelly Joe by his fans. Lots of fans.
You even have a book now.
I do have a book. It's not quite the New York bestseller yet, but it's up there. I didn't quite check the stats and the ratings, but I think it's up there. Along with Mighty Mike's got a book, the Rev's got a book. Cool books, by the way. We sure appreciate the author for taking the time and the effort to create such a neat book. Well, it looks like our phone's doing okay for the camera, I should say, for now. Let's see if we can. So far so good. We still have the camera, so that's good, but we'll have to watch the tempo. Anyway, folks, we're heading eastbound on Maryland, coming up to Hazelwood, just passing the illustrious Sam's Dairy. Actually, it's called Santa's Market, but a lot of us still refer to it as Sam's Dairy. Yes, folks, the AC is on. We're well aware of that. We're got it cranked up, so.
They're rallying up to Silver Truck. Alright, sounds good.
5672, clear report. Something. 1340.
Sylvan and Uranium is there. They check
Well, let's see what else we got here. Any calls impending?
Nothing much. Couple thefts.
And hopefully everybody got to enjoy the Father's Day and had some fun times with barbecuing or picnics or whatnot, or enjoying the time on the lake, and
242.
great weather for it.
We'll get kids at 259.
Copy 1340.
What else we got, Kellen? What's brewing?
I'm just trying to read through some of these calls here. See if we got anything worthwhile. Not much.
Yes, folks, if you're wondering, Joe Kill's the driver. He's my chauffeur today. He's a much better driver than me. I don't. My skills aren't quite as good as his, so we got him in the driver's seat. One backseater said if the phone overheats, we can do what the Hatman and Bobbin do. Just put the phone out the window to cool it down. So, duly noted. Thank you.
See if that works, if it happens.
Yeah. So far, so good, though. Got it cranked up right. I can't get this one. This vent to open.
No, it's not, because it's just up. I can't.
Oh, I see.
2267.
Could you show me out on a beat scan at the emergency room of Conroe East Med site?
Let's see what else here.
40 you go and we see this too. That's a little bit. Amplified phone, clear system. Roger.
2560.
I'll be clear. You can clear the city.
Still over on the east side
Copy. 2264.
of St. Paul.
Johnson Parkway, heading south. And yes, folks, I got a couple of texts here asking us if the Kias and the Hondas are still number one stolen. Yes, they are. Pretty much a daily occurrence. Either a Honda or a Kia is stolen, or the cat team's out looking for one and whatnot. And we've also seen a trend where a lot of new names are popping up that we haven't seen before, which is kind of scary, because not that we encourage, but we got to kind of know a lot of these kids, juveniles that were involved in this. We had a pretty good handle on it. We still do, of course, but there's always a couple of new ones that have been popping up that are 11 years old, 12 years old, 13. And
It's almost like a new generation.
yeah, so we got some new names, and hopefully they're just one-offs where they just were, you know, a passenger in a stolen car, and then we'll be done with it. But we did hear from a couple of juveniles that there's people as young as 9 and 10 that are involved in this auto theft, so kind of frightening. That would be fun, yes. My next vacation, or a little bit of time off, will be in July for the 4th.
My favorite are those lazy rivers.
Oh, yes, I love the lazy rivers. I can't remember where we were at once, but I think it was Wisconsin, and we had a good time in a lazy river.
Three Bears or something like that?
I think that's something like that. Yeah, that sounds about right.
4340 area.
That was a good time.
That was a hefty time.
Yeah, nothing better than floating on the river. Lazy river. Lazy days.
You ever been down the Apple?
Oh, yes, God, years ago.
I haven't been for years.
I used to go there quite a bit in high school, the Apple River. I was always told, like, basically don't avoid at all costs of not that you want to drink any of the water from the Apple River, but try not to get any of that water in your mouth, because
to the holiday off this way.
I remember that water was never.
it was not very clean.
No.
It was pretty murky.
There was definitely some stuff in that water.
Yeah, and you know, I used to see people like fishing in that river too. I don't think I want to eat stuff from there, but maybe if you smoke it right or something. I don't know. The fish, that is.
Vehicle case number 10911.
Really quiet, folks. Not a whole lot in pending for calls.
Pretty hot day out here.
Yes, indeed. I think it's supposed to be hot like for the next foreseeable next few days.
There's supposed to be some storms, aren't there? Coming up. We need rain bad.
Oh yeah, it's
We're hurting.
yeah.
You see some of the trees are already stressed and turning colors.
Those poor farmers with the
Crops.
drought. You just joined us, folks. Currently on the east side, and we have the pleasure of having the two Joes. Joe Kill from the CAT team, and Jelly Joe, or Joe Miller from the Intel office. Currently on Earl Street. I think this is 4th, right by the Twins Market. Coming up to 3rd here. folks were looking at some email messages here. I see. I'm just confused. And let's see here, folks, we are aware of like some of the connectivity issues.
Yep, the mail subject, John Tom Union 9.
Yeah, hopefully now it's back and it's not doing any more connectivity issue here. It looks appears to be all right, but we have no control over how the camera decides to act goofy with the connectivity.
Daniel there. Yep. When they make entry to the front, do you think that your alley? Yeah, we got it.
Is there any big events coming up? I know we had, I think Back to the 50s is this weekend at the State Fair. I actually worked that one year. That was a cool time back when the sheriff's office had the State Fair. That was something I really enjoyed. MSRA folks, getting to know the volunteers, and it was hot just like this. It was cool to see all the cars, and people were very, very respectful and courteous to deal with. So it was a pretty enjoyable event. I think it runs all weekend.
Does it just go for the weekend?
I think it's just for the weekend. It starts, what is today, Wednesday? I think the setup and all that is Wednesday. Like all the cars, the vendors, the semis of stuff come in. I think Thursday or Friday, for sure Friday it starts, but Thursday might be the actual starting time of the Back to the 50s. But the first day was just mainly set up with vendors and transporting their vehicles there. But a lot of cool cars. And good food too. Roasted corn, my favorite. Cheese curds. And Pronto Pup.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite. Corn dogs, love them.
Well, no, it's now if you were a true backseater, you would know that there's a difference between a Pronto Pup and a corn dog. And I can't remember exactly what the difference is. I think it's something to do with the batter.
It's the batter. It's a corn-based batter or something like that.
I'm sure someone will remind us, but it's something to do with the batter. I think after that, then they have like another car, like a street machine event, which is cool cars as well. And then before we know it, the State Fair will be here. I can't remember what the countdown is, but it starts in the last week of August. It runs through Labor Day.
That's going to be here before you know it.
Corn dogs for the win.
That's Pat. He's out here today too.
just joining us, folks, we're currently on the east side. You got the two Joes, Joe Kill or Joe Chill, and Jelly Joe. Currently east on 7th.
2430 1050, East 94, East to radio, right shoulder. Check. 1355.
Assisting medics, 49-year-old male, shortness of breath, medics on scene are requesting police transportation becoming agitated.
Put on copy.
Yeah, one backseater said here it's definitely the batter. Frontal pup is flour batter, and corn dog is cornmeal batter. Thank you very much for that. I knew there was some difference, but I couldn't remember exactly what it was.
54-year-old party, 5'9", medium build, no shirt, white male.
Body camera.
Coming up to the M&H where Bob and Pat like to stop usually. They've been there in a while, but usually they got some good snacks.
It's been a while.
Popcorn and nachos and a good roller dog from M&H is always good once in a while. Roller dog with a little bit of relish, ketchup, mustard, and then you gotta have onions on there.
I still prefer our usual Baconator from Wendy's.
Oh yes. You know, if I'm hungry, I can do the actual Baconator. But if I'm just kind of like, you know, I could go for something to eat, but I'm not overly hungry. Then I go for the what's known as the son of the Baconator. Much smaller, kind of like a Whopper and a Whopper Junior. You know, just depends when you know how hungry you are. The northbound arcade at Case. I hate to use the Q word here, but
Yeah,
this is kind of something else here. Maybe it's the heat.
keeping everybody inside. Hope everybody has a working AC.
Oh, yeah. I was just, I think Mississippi had the twisters or tornadoes go through
358 to 33.
through there, and a lot of people were out without power. And man, that would really stink down there in Mississippi with no air conditioning. Or here for that matter. It's been 90 plus, so I don't mind the heat. Currently westbound on Maryland here.
Look for it, 1359.
Still on the east side of St. Paul.
Metro.
1661.
10-7, have a good afternoon.
Good. 1400.
Did Payne Avenue ever have a lot of bars back in the day?
Oh yeah, yeah. Both Payne and Arcade had a bunch of bars.
There's not too many left.
Right.
No, there isn't. I think yeah, the Arcade bar,
Good day.
Louis on Payne.
Good day. Good night. 1400.
The Governor's used to be on Arcade. That's now,
1665.
I can't remember what's that called. It's Oxtail or
10-7,
something.
have a good night.
The name of it.
Good
But
night. 1400.
yeah, there's definitely not as many as there used to be. The westbound on Maryland here, coming up to 35 and not too far from the Foundry Bar, which I'm sure if you're a true backseater, you've seen many times on Bob and Pat's Live on Patrol.
I wonder what they're gonna do with that Kmart
It's been like that for a while.
and the old Sears.
Is that Wendy's still open?
Oh yeah.
I have to get a bacon egg. Yeah, it's been like that for a while. I always liked the Kmart. You could always get a mix of everything there. You get hunting, sporting goods, fishing, or if you needed some household goods or patio furniture. Is there? I don't think there's too many more Kmart's left around, is there?
I don't know. There might be one or two.
One
One
out
of
of
Sears or owned by Sears, right?
I don't know if they're both owned by. Remember the Sears Roebuck? I remember as a kid getting that Sears catalog. That was like gold. Looking at the Christmas catalog.
I used to love getting the Sunday paper and reading all the ads.
You know what I used to hate though? Not too much further from this time of the year. So when we were younger kids, we would get out of school around, I don't know, the first week of June. And then a couple weeks would go by, and right around the 4th of July, you know what they would have for ads? Back to school sale. I'm like, what do you mean back to school sale? We just got out. I'm like, who's going back? It's July. I don't want back to school ads.
For some shade.
And someone said Kmart's making a comeback in some states.
Really?
I'll have to research that because I could have swore I thought they were pretty much going out of business. Maybe it's more regional. shout out to make here. Dino from the UK is a huge fan of Live on Patrol. Well, thanks for watching, Dino.
Thanks for watching, Dino.
What time is it in the UK, you think? You have to Google that. Let's see. .8:05, if I'm reading that correctly. 8:05 p.m. in the UK.
PM or AM?
PM.
It's 6 hour difference, huh?
Oh, in the UK, yeah.
I'll be out at chance of probably.
Ramsey, Maryland, right by the Cub Foods.
Metro. 1620. 10-7. Good night. Good night. 407. 150.
Doing some sweet tricks on his bike.
150. Gonna be following the ambulance down to Regent. My partner's gonna be in the car.
Chill here. Yeah, nothing too exciting here so far.
No, it's actually.
Wish we had more for you guys, but
Could be a good thing. No crime.
I still got my money on luck on finding something.
5282, 5284.
Lady wasn't even looking. I think that's right. I think the Live on Patrol anniversary is coming up too. I think in June or July. I should know I was a part of it. See something?
Huh?
Did you see something? No. Coming up to Rice Street. Not too far from Club Holiday, but Roy Wilkins Park. I didn't know that. What was the name of that park there?
I think we're Caleb.
What else we got, Joe? Any big events coming up in your big vacations? Probably like I said, around the 4th of July. I usually take 3-4 days, maybe the week. See some fireworks. Have some fun on the water. Do a little water skiing, wake surfing. The usual fun summer stuff. Yeah, there, maybe somewhere, maybe the river.
Let's see.
Yeah, we're currently in St. Paul's Central District, the city of St. Paul here. I think the population is 300 and some thousand. I don't have the numbers, but I could Google it. Roughly around, maybe it's 400,000. You know, I'm gonna look that up now.
Minneapolis put out a scary statistic the other day that they're reporting what, a stolen car an hour since
Yeah,
the beginning of the year.
I wish I had those stats handy, but it was pretty alarming. We're not quite as prepared as the Bob and Pat show with stats at our fingertips. Actually, as a matter of fact, Jelly Joe was notified that he was going to be doing live on patrol. I think it was maybe 5 minutes before. So bear with us. We're trying our best here to keep you guys entertained.
I'm just waiting for the DC to have some notes.
Coming up to the hockey rink here. What rink is it called?
55 minutes.
Oscar Johnson?
Is it still a hockey rink? I've seen them.
Yeah, it's not a hockey.
It's a roller.
Well, yeah, in the summertime, but I think it's currently. It's not Oscar Johnson either. I can't think of it. Biff Adams, that's what it is. Biff Adams.
3, 2, and 4. And it's got a message in the box that inventory name vehicles is still there.
Curling club now.
Yeah, I just looked to see if the gun's in there. We're gonna do a search on it. Stand by, I'm at team number 1. Just have to pull the difference.
Yeah, it's almost so hot you don't really see too many people out walking around.
Yeah.
Usually on Rice Street, you see a bunch of kids out walking around up and down the street, and kind of everybody must be sitting inside in the air conditioning today.
494 from 52, two black Fords in and out of traffic, tailgating each other, slamming on brakes.
Brake check.
Information 426.
Can't everybody just get along?
I know.
266, you can
All the
disregard
hostility
those
with
calls needing to be added.
road rage. Maybe it's the heat. The heat kind of brings it out in some people that normally wouldn't do that. At least that's what I'm gonna try to believe.
Not either.
That sounds good as a freeze.
Freezy, or what do you call those ices?
Disregard
big gulp
712.
freezy ices from
Oh yeah.
I used to get when I was a kid.
There's nothing in place here. Disregard phone.
Blue or red? Or two.
I switch it up, but I always like the blue raspberry.
Yeah.
I used to always put more of that blue stuff where you could make it at the store.
Yeah.
I would get extra, pump it in extra flavor. The blue. Yeah, they used to have 7-Elevens
5 minutes.
here in Minnesota. Another big eater out east. I know down in Florida there's
There's a middle store at Logan that's been trespassed.
tons of those 7-Elevens.
You can get just about anything at a 7-Eleven.
I thought Speedway bought out, or 7-Eleven bought out Speedway. They haven't changed the name.
Oh, Circle K.
That's BP though, I
Oh,
think.
that's Holiday, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Holiday, yeah. BP or Circle K is Holiday, yeah.
This is the Vincent report. 539.
What happened to Tom Thumb?
Oh yeah, that's another one, Tom Thumb. They had a whole like deli in the town. You could get chicken, like a whole chicken meal, chicken dinner.
7-Elevens are like that though in Florida.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they sell beverages too. Just past Club Holiday, folks. Find something? Okay, they look too friendly. It's gotta be the heat.
Oh, that building.
Yeah, what building here? It's getting torn down.
That's a big one. Spraying water on it so the dust settles.
Mm-hmm. You know, people often ask if I wasn't doing this for a job or a career, I'd probably be operating heavy machinery. Bulldozers, excavators, skid loaders, bobcats, you name it.
Taking down that wall right there.
Oh yeah.
Now they got the machine just up under mile.
39.762. Look, there's screaming. Spread the way.
Old White Castle.
2264.
We haven't had that in a long time either.
Systematic at 41.
Yeah, that looks different. What they do there, that looks different now.
They remodeled it.
They did something.
No, just a short
I
surprise.
think they redid the whole thing.
Yeah, that facelift or something. I used to always get the number one. It was a four, either
With
four
cheese,
white,
no pickle.
no cheese. Yep. Well, I gotta get the pickle though. And then people like those onion chips from White Castle. I'm more of a fan of just the crinkle cut fries.
117. Caller wants her mother to leave, so she's about to slap her. His mother's refusing. Name is Pamela Lacey, Black Female 51, Heavy Build.
See, it's making everybody angry.
Yeah, see, it's the heat. Coming up to Marion, we're still in St. Paul's Central District.
That's 4621.
See if Joe Kill knows his trivia backseaters. So at McDonald's, so now years ago, University of Marion, you know what was at the old, what was there before McDonald's?
Bank.
He does know.
Copy that. 2 by 6.
I couldn't tell you which bank.
I think it was First Bank, First National Bank. Joe Kill knew the answer, folks. What should we give him?
Take a Prado Club.
I'll take cheese curds with ranch. Actually, no, cheese curds and marinara sauce. And ranch. What's this guy selling?
Those are Bibles.
Bibles? Free or? It's gotta be the heat. If we have any gift cards to, if we happen to see some kids, we definitely would give them some gift cards for a cool freezy or a beverage, from ice cream maybe.
Contact President 305 is in there.
But yeah, for the folks that just joined us, we are in the city of St. Paul. We work for the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. We have the pleasure of having both Joes, Joe Kill and Jelly Joe from CAT in the Intel office. Currently northbound on Western.
Yep. Go on.
I always forget a lot of our backseaters are from all over the place, and some are. We got some first timers and some newcomers.
Did
And
anyone pull that plate from states that lost earlier? They chased it out for escape. Never should know there. 373 E's Adam Victor. This is Wisconsin's correct.
93. Received.
Thanks for the info, Kyle. I had the green one moving kind of fast on just fine for the field. Comment said we changed his code from harassment
Received at 1420.
Yeah, someone's asking Jelly Joe how much time he spends in the streets and office. You know, it depends on what's going on. A lot of the stuff is behind the scenes. And a lot of time the CAT team is busy doing a lot of the busy work. So sometimes I'll just come out and assist with either sitting on a tow for a car or transporting prisoners, and oftentimes they're juveniles. And in Ramsey County, it's a process with bringing juveniles to the juvenile detention center, and they can take upwards of close to an hour per juvenile. So we'll do a lot of that behind the scenes, and a lot of like warrants, and they make arrests. We'll have like 6 juveniles will be in a car, and there'll be 4 or 5 cell phones, and we'll get a warrant for the cell phones. We'll process the car, get DNA, and there's a lot of paperwork I'll do a lot of that stuff, and then I will assist the CAT team as needed, which is, pretty much a daily basis. They're making arrests or out here chasing stolen cars, what have you, so I just assist as needed, but so it's kind of a split. And
He helps us tremendously on the phone during things that we can't quite do because we're out driving. He'll sit on the phone with people, or what we need contact made with other people. He's good at finding people. He's good at making those connections.
well, thank you for that. And yeah, and Joe Kill brought up a very good, interesting point. Is what we've been seeing now lately, and it's been going on for quite a while. Is a lot of these cars will be unreported stolen. So you'll run the plate, and the car will be fleeing, and you'll call the RO and say, hey, your car was spotted on this intersection or this area. They're from like Lakeville or Minnetonka or Savage, and you know where your car is, and we'll say, well, it's supposed to be in my driveway. So, well, you want to go look? And they say, well, it's not there. And so it's these cars are stolen so quick and involved in so many incidences that before they're even being reported stolen, they're already involved in multiple incidences. I mean, that happens more often than not with these stolen cars just being unreported. Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into just a single case, with between processing the car and then doing some follow-up interviews, the victims, and getting the car back. And
neighbor ran out with a baby in her hand.
A lot of times it just seems so simple. You make the arrest and then you kind of wash your hands and on to the next. But there is a lot of work that goes involved in just one single arrest with a car and multiple juveniles. So
Lots and lots of people.
yeah, and then you'll what we're seeing now is this. The CAT team started back in was it over 2 years ago now, and we've been doing a lot of DNA, and we're finally getting stuff back on DNA. So that takes some time, and if it's just a stolen car, it's not really a top priority for it goes to the BCA, and they're pretty much swamped with processing higher priority stuff with fingerprints and DNA and stuff. So a stolen car with nobody in it, it's kind of a low priority. So it takes some time to get the evidence back. So we're starting to see a lot of influx of getting some DNA stuff back. As a matter of fact, I just got something back this morning from 2021, and it's a known individual to the CAT team that we've arrested numerous times. We got some DNA back, so hopefully have a new case on that individual.
It was 343.
Still currently in the St. Paul's Central District here at Maryland and Cumberland, heading west.
That male in the red and red is on Thomas and Avon, and he's walking on the street here. Coming in, Mark Selection. Working very well. 35,000.
By then I found over on Salem Boulevard under the red car.
southbound on the Lafayette. 1436.
Yeah, I'm getting some comments too, folks, about the chat. Honestly, I have no idea why or why not the chat on Facebook is not working. I don't really think the smartest man at the sheriff's office could maybe answer that better than I could. All right, what's going on here? But sometimes if you log out and log back in, that seems to work, I guess. Some people were saying, but other than that, I don't have a good fix for you guys. Maryland and Jackson, right outside the Foundry here.
Striking a large piece of metal underneath the vehicle, causing sparks. Information only 1450. 358.
Not sure you covered that last update. We have a car mail party requesting a phone call expressed by officers about the residence.
Who is the mail party?
Byron Dodd. Number, thank you, for 239.
Currently eastbound Maryland at 35.
Tell me the number.
612-245.
Where you on it? 331, coming back on that call.
Hopefully our live stream here is working fine for you folks.
Yeah, we're right on the church. Alright, copy. We're in a parking lot. West side.
You know, someone's asking on average how often do we see the same teens, meaning juveniles, arrested for the same offense? Quite often, more often than we would like, of course. We have made some headway with some juveniles. Where, like I mentioned before, some are just kind of a one-off, where they're just kind of a hang around. They're in the car as a passenger, but not really actively stealing the cars. They're just, involved and get kind of some peer pressure. And then we have the hardcore, where we've arrested probably, I want to say 20 to 30 core group of kids that we've really got to know just over the course of the last couple of years, because we keep seeing them. They're known to the CAT team, so we've dealt with them or arrested them on numerous occasions, unfortunately. So it happens quite a bit, but a lot of it boils down to the judicial process, and a lot of it's proving if they're someone in a car and they all flee from that vehicle. It's hard to prove that somebody was in the car or the driver without fingerprints and DNA. So it's an uphill battle trying to get charges with a lot of these incidences, but we are making some headway. So it's not all. There are some positive to this. So.
DOC at Carmack, 1325 Dean Avenue. Store manager said they had a couple customers that became escalated when they were unsatisfied. The 20 to 25-year-old black female and a 40 to 45-year-old black female.
I'll find it here.
Yep. Wait, cancel.
Sorry, folks, we had to put you on mute for some confidential information momentarily. We apologize. Thanks. We're back now. A lot of times too, some of the backseaters and some of the crime pages, they do really a tremendous job of with information sharing. Some of the backseaters will tell us that something in their neighborhood, a suspicious car keeps circulating, or so a lot of stuff is. We find a lot of these juveniles and car thieves from a lot of the backseaters give us information.
It's huge. That helps out huge.
Someone's asking if we have LPR on this vehicle. I don't know if I want to share that, but we do have LPR on some of our cars, and some other agencies as well. I know St. Paul does, and a lot of suburban agencies have LPR. And what LPR is, it's license plate recognition software. It's equipped on the car, and it'll. I guess the short, simple answer is it'll automatically run plates that are either a cops alert or alert on it or stolen. So I think parking enforcement has a lot of those on their cars. So it's a useful tool for us. It'll give us a stolen hit on a car.
Going to 2639 Southern Street. That's the gasoline cleanup of the vehicle.
Lots of road work.
Yes, you gotta love St. Paul. Well, actually just Minnesota in general. This time of the year, there's lots of construction and road work. Yeah, it's definitely got to be a hot day for those construction workers out. I know you probably, like you work landscaping, and probably had some hot days doing that.
This project periodized.
And manual labor is just, and I was a rougher, it was the flat roofs though, the commercial roofs.
Yeah.
On, I was in high school. I had a buddy that I worked with, and so during spring break, while the other kids were having fun in Mexico and Cancun and what have you, I actually worked for 2 weeks doing roofs. And by about 5 o'clock, I was so tired I could barely drive home, and I went right to bed. So a shout out to manual labor and just laborers in general, because that's tough work. I did that for a week.
I think roofing would be the worst. No shade.
Yeah, well, this was in the like March, so it was kind of colder out, and but it was hard work.
Connection requesting metal price lock yourself inside of a bedroom, so don't retake 70 unit be problem. It's not harming or violent with anybody, but it's slamming your head against the walls.
Someone saying hi, Mike Barton. That was yesterday. Today you have the pleasure of the two Joes. Joe Kill and Jelly Joe. Right outside Wilder Rec. I think some of our ambassadors usually kind of camp out here. See me around though, but usually a pretty busy rec center at Edgerton and Case here. Wilder Rec. We're too busy today or right now anyway, but
Not a lot of people outside.
no, like we mentioned earlier, I think the heat's kind of getting to the people. Case and Burr store that's been there for years.
Everyone good?
There's been a lot of U-Hauls too, lately in the last couple of months. I've noticed some stolen U-Hauls.
Yeah. Lots of stolen.
And some with Arizona, for some reason a lot of them have Arizona plates. I know it's common at U-Haul they have different plates, but they're always Arizona plates it seems like. Come up to a kind of a hotspot area for stolens. I won't give away the exact location, we take the fun out of it. Yeah, someone was mentioning like the chat where you log out and then log back in, and you'll see a bunch of comments, and then someone mentioned that some update, which again I don't know nothing really about, but something to do with a Facebook update. So maybe that could be why the chat's not working. But I guess the short solution is log out, log back in.
24.
Or not log out, but like just keep refreshing.
345.
Heading show connector.
Roger, 1451.
So she's in the third level. Training out the window. Get back inside! Hey, let's talk about this!
Yeah, I see that in Central. Oh, that one. I was reading this one too. Was it something Lake? I think I've seen that one there before.
Yeah.
We are currently on the east side of St. Paul, folks. City of St. Paul. I think I looked that stat up. It's 311,000, give or take, for population. Well, compared to what Minneapolis, they have at least double. So.
Go ahead.
Roger, 1453.
Who's the best cat team member? I mean, geez, it's. I would have to say they're all up there. All the cat team does a fine job with everything that they do. Although each has their little niche, but they're all good.
Copy, party stop. Wait for the window. There is broken glass. That's 1451.
And Pat Scott, yeah, he's pretty much in a league of his own. He's like a living legend, so he doesn't count.
6301.
Well, he counts, but he's separate.
6301.
Good evening, my post is 18679. Number leaving 6201 is ELTL. Up the stairs. It may be 5961.
5961.
Duty at Marshall, this is 2100 Snelling. Tell me
That's
$100, almost 27599.
You know, we actually do have a pretty good drone program too, or drone operators at Ramsey County. We really, our director Leiden of the cat team, he's pretty good. I think he got a lot of experience. He was telling me the other day, he was flying at the state fair over the Midway when there'd be criminal activity or fights, and he really got a good experience, a good handle on flying the drone. But he's our director's pretty darn good with flying as a drone operator. But
307, that can be
others in the intel office too are good.
332, we're both negotiators and all.
Is currently dealing with a person in crisis called juvenile individual resolved safely.
Post FG 101. I'm here till 2300.
that same location. Female in custody.
Copy.
I got her down. I need another 343, I copy that. Are there additional squads inside?
Two more of us are going in. It's in a second. Okay.
Verify squads inside are code 4.
Not yet, hold on. Code 4, have medics come on, please. Code 4 for medics.
Copy.
Yeah, people are asking about the North St. Paul homicide. Yeah, that's pretty rare occurrence for North St. Paul given its size and population. I don't have much other details that we can share other than it's active and very fluid and an ongoing investigation. So it's sad and tragic when something like that happens to North St. Paul. Well, anywhere, but especially North St. Paul.
Okay. Copy code 428. Next, black is a black. 40 feet ahead.
Got something?
Country is 4059.
Strangely slow.
Yes. Sounds like I'm walking. Yeah, the Q word. Quaint? No, quiet. You said it.
Steam 48 Metro. Same traffic. 1627 Metro.
1627.
St. Paul steam fitters and pipe fitters. Local. That's where that's at.
He's sitting out on Falcon when you turn in. It's right there. Even waves that, he's on
Well, it's 3 o'clock Central Time, folks, here in Minnesota, and it is relatively, we'll say slow. We'll use the S word, slow.
89
It
degrees.
is 89 degrees. The sun is out, and actually the sky looks a lot more blue versus the haze
Highway 3 at 149.
from the Canadian wildfires we were talking about. That's been going on for a while now. That wildfire smoke making its way to Minnesota.
Isn't there some
There's got it.
in Minnesota in the Boundary Waters?
Oh yeah, there was a BW Boundary Waters Canoe Area, BWCA. There, I said it right. Tiger.
Every window smashed in. slash.
There. Yeah.
One sec.
Folks, we're going to be checking on a car here. It's got no plate. The windows are smashed out. We're going to check the VIN. The VIN is the vehicle identification number. Well, we can run the plate or run the vehicle that way and see if it comes back stolen.
Is that dude outside your target unit? Yeah, he is.
Wayne made his guy in.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Correct. Well, his booking photo that we have.
Yeah?
is not
What's your
really
point?
his Photo. He's slightly skinnier one than the other. This individual is right in there.
Well, I was
Right.
just- that's just-
Hispanic male, pitch there. He looks.
They come back there.
Yeah, she's right outside the where she was actually going to call mom and two moms. Just kind of under the premise that they were doing inspections of the kind of thing around. Hey, David, did you copy all that? Yep. What's the game plan? You guys just gonna you waiting for a phone call? You waved at you. Think he just come to the door and chat with you? I'm not sure. Yeah, 6 months like we go. Yeah, Rogelio, take you listen to it. We can get upstairs up there for while you're on our apartment or outside of the apartment. And then if you guys chat about
It's like a perfect pool day. It should be a pool day all day.
Pool and pizza party. That sounds like fun. You know, just the spot where we can use somebody's pool too. much going on. Even with the call load. A whole lot of action right now, folks. Wish we had more to give you.
Well,
I know, yeah.
People be out at City Hall and still wait for a minute.
Some people are asking what CAT stands for. It stands for the Carjacking and Auto Theft Team. It's an acronym, so they use the word CAT, C-A-T, Carjacking and Auto Theft. Yes, we are currently in the city of St. Paul, in the Central District area. We're going to be approaching the Rice Street area.
and our main focus are stolen vehicles.
Yeah, so the CAT team's pretty much what it stands for, carjacking and auto theft. It's their primary target is stolen, very proactive team that looks for stolen vehicles on the street and also does the investigative side of it, the follow-up work. Whereas a lot of other agencies kind of have like an investigative team that kind of just, the street cops do the work, and then the investigative team gets the other side of it. The CAT team kind of does it all. And then the intel team assists the CAT team, and then the CAT team does assist other units as needed for other things, not just auto theft related. So a lot of these things tie back into, there's stolen credit cards that were in somebody's car. That's financial crime. Firearms that are in these cars, ghost guns. So it all kind of ties back to the auto theft in some form or another. shots fired call in Maplewood, folks.
The address is 1956 Ripley and 60 on Shelton. 1515.
Okay, so we're getting with more info right now. Let's go back to the mill.
Clear. Good here.
Tyler, sorry. We're looking over. He is still sitting in the doorway. They're trying to run into the ditch. The fellow's in here.
What did you do? Location right now?
So far, there's a lot of yelling and guys something suspect is still on the
44 Springfield, you're arriving.
Someone responds, I think.
89 and 44. We're going to be with you in a second.
If you just joined us, we're heading to a shots fired call here in Maplewood. There we go. you just joined us, like I said, we're responding to shots fired here at Maplewood. We're just gonna go here until we're code 4 if we help's needed. So
Yeah, that code from the scene. Ramsey needs to block diesel and make sure your medic is locked in again. And they should be arriving now. The second race is being dispatched. Any update for what the second party is in the medics work?
4021, I'm only hard running here. The first one now.
Yeah, I mean, you should have gone right there. County 2267, I'm shutting down. Got the house.
Looks like they just went code 4 here.
going
How
good,
you doing,
sir.
Sheriff? Yeah.
They have been. You're live, by the way. Thank you, sir. Well, we just ran into the sheriff. This Maplewood call, shots fired. You appear to have it under control, or code 4, so. Not a whole lot I can share with you guys, so we have very limited info.
I got a little more crew coming up on your side. Check out, it's going to be an SPM.
The suspect's in custody. That's what we heard.
We are in Maplewood, right by, if you know where Goodrich Golf Course is, there's the Golf Dome and Hockey Arena, Aldridge Hockey Rink, right by here. currently on White Bear Avenue, heading southbound here in St. Paul. Food trucks. Wow, a lot of food trucks.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Are they always there?
Yeah.
We're clear this. However, before we take a call, could you please pass for our open card? Block number 195.
Someone's asked if Ramsey County has a motorcycle unit. You know, we used to. We got rid of that a few years back or longer. We no longer have a motor unit, no.
Some nice bikes too.
Yeah, they were Harleys, weren't they?
Yeah.
You show me board 196391, 399 point, and
You can show there, they will able to check the camera. Thank you again.
you get a line just from the opposite side door here. You can access that's where the don't go inside. On the door.
Currently on Maryland Avenue, just passing Hazelwood, Sam's Jerry.
Dispatch 0, Travis.
4021. As long as everyone's on the team, both four here, both here. Put them on team plan.
Yep, all of it.
Wait, we're 20.
40,
Okay, so you blow your laptop so far.
Heavy.
Yep, hard. I have firefighter 52 up.
I have firefighter 145 and 85.
Copy, thank you.